I actually started occasionally making a suggestion, and they never, it never went anywhere. Kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Ron Howard, Hollywood's nicest director, is known for calm, grace, and control. But even he has limits. At 71, he revealed the 6 actors who truly tested his patience. These stories of tension and unpredictability didn't just challenge him. They shaped the man and his films. Stay tuned. Number 2 will shock you. Tom Sizemore, The Meteor Storm on a Clockwork. Imagine a set run like a symphony. Every move calculated, every beat in perfect rhythm. That's a Ron Howard set. Calm, invisible, controlled. Then imagine a storm sweeping in. That storm was Tom Sizemore in Ransom in 1996. Sizemore was raw, magnetic, intense, a performer audiences love. But for Howard, whose philosophy is that preparation creates freedom, Sizemore's unpredictability was chaos. Rehearsed scenes could explode or fizzle in a heartbeat. Lines that started electric sometimes landed flat. Crew members said you could feel the tension in the air. Not loud, not angry, just volatile, uncontainable energy bending the room itself. On one infamous day, the emotional weather forced a production stop. No technical failure, no equipment issue. Just a reset called by Howard, diplomatic and quiet, but a reset nonetheless. Coverage was reblocked, shots reordered, and the day rebuilt around the energy they actually had, not the one the schedule assumed. Soft power crisis management at its finest. Yet Sizemore's on-screen presence delivered. His intensity coiled, menacing, alive, crackling with raw emotion in Ransom. Howard adapted, channeling the unpredictability into the film while preserving the rhythm. It cost time, energy, and patience, but the result was brilliant. Sizemore passed, Howard endured, and a lesson in controlling chaos without confrontation was etched in the director's playbook. Andy Griffith, Lessons from Mayberry. Every legend has a starting point, and for Ron Howard, it was the Andy Griffith Show. As a 6-year-old, Opie Taylor learned the craft of acting from one of television's most iconic figures. But behind the charm of Mayberry, Howard discovered early lessons in authority, tension, and boundaries. Griffith, once playful and warm, grew moody under the pressures of a hit show. Laughter between takes faded. Guidance turned curt. Howard, sensing the shift, navigated a delicate balance between respect and independence. He learned to recognize how charisma could mask insecurity and how authority could clash with emerging talent. By the end of the show, their relationship had cooled naturally. No arguments, no gossip, just distance. Howard absorbed the lessons silently, understanding early that leadership required emotional intelligence. The warmth he cultivated on his future sets, the quiet diplomacy, the respect for collaboration, it all traces back to Mayberry. Russell Crowe, Genius vs. Process. Fast forward to 2001. A Beautiful Mind and a Meeting of Extremes. Ron Howard's disciplined structure versus Russell Crowe's untamed brilliance. Crowe, fresh from Gladiator, approached filmmaking like a battleground of emotion, instinct, and obsessive detail. Howard's sets are known for harmony and quiet focus. Crowe's presence? Volcanic. Every scene was a duel. Crowe challenged dialogue, debated camera angles, and pushed boundaries. The energy was thrilling yet exhausting, a tightrope walk between harnessing genius and maintaining order. Howard absorbed the turbulence, redirecting energy instead of confronting it. The result? Cinematic magic. Crowe's intensity fueled Nash's complexity, while Howard's steadiness preserved the story. They created brilliance together, but the toll was real. The collaboration worked once, beautifully, but Howard would never endure that process again. Crowe justified his intensity as dedication. I don't show up to be liked. I show up to find truth. Howard's response? Quiet mastery. Some actors you steer. Russell, you hold on and hope for the best. Henry Winkler. When the side character steals the show Happy Days, 1974. Ron Howard. Richie Cunningham. The heart of the show. Then came Henry Winkler. The Fonz. Rebellious, charismatic audience magnet. In a matter of months, the narrative pivoted. Richie took a back seat. Fonzie became the star. Howard, professional and grounded, never showed resentment. But inside, the sting was real. The show he carried became a stage for someone else's charisma. He learned early that the industry is unpredictable, that the spotlight can shift without warning. Rather than fight it, Howard observed, studied, and absorbed the lessons. He saw audience influence, network dynamics, and creative ego management firsthand. Happy Days didn't end his dreams. It redirected them. He realized he didn't want to chase the spotlight anymore. He wanted to shape it. That moment set the foundation for his legendary directing career. Mel Gibson, The Storm Eye vs. the Calm Eye Ransom, 1996. Two forces of nature on one set. Mel Gibson, Oscar-winning intensity, and Ron Howard, methodical, calm, precise. From the outside, the film appeared flawless. Behind the camera, every day was a negotiation. Gibson wanted total creative control, blocking, dialogue, tone. Howard, the diplomat, absorbed it, redirected it, balanced respect for Gibson's vision with his own authority. The tension was invisible but omnipresent. Each take a test of patience, each scene a potential conflict. A tense kidnapping sequence became a battleground. Gibson halted production multiple times, proposing alternate takes and line readings, demanding raw intensity. Howard had to reassert control without confrontation, freezing the scene until it aligned with his vision. The film succeeded, the performances electrifying. But Howard emerged drained. He learned again. Two captains can't always steer the same ship. Sometimes brilliance comes at the cost of endurance. Marlon Brando, When Genius Becomes Chaos. And finally, the actor who pushed even Ron Howard to his limits. Marlon Brando. By the mid-1990s, Brando was a living legend, the man whose performances redefined acting forever. But by then, the unpredictability was legendary too. Late arrivals, forgotten lines, cue cards scattered across the set, impromptu rewrites. Brando's genius came with chaos. Howard approached with patience, accommodating quirks, hoping to earn trust. But the disruption was constant. Crew described it as daily roulette, never knowing if brilliance or disarray would show up. A simple dialogue scene stretched hours. Brando reimagined his character mid-shot, forcing Howard to improvise, recalibrate, and steer the ship through fog. The project never reached its intended form, but Howard emerged wiser. Talent, no matter how legendary, doesn't excuse disrespect. He later said, carefully, "Some legends earn their reputation through work. Others earn it through behavior. It's important to know the difference." Even the nicest director has breaking points, and Brando found his. From Tom Sizemore to Marlon Brando, these actors tested Ron Howard's patience, but each challenge taught him how to lead with calm, respect, and strategy. Even Hollywood's nicest director has limits, yet he turned pressure into lessons, building films, careers, and a legacy that endures. Think you knew Ron Howard? Think again. Click to uncover more untold Hollywood stories. Hollywood Stories.